Hi guys, I'm Sonal and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share keto chocolate peanut butter bars with you. They are absolutely delicious and very filling because they've got peanut butter, they've got almonds and they've got chocolate. So the ingredients itself are great. All you need to do is kind of adjust the texture a little bit and just put them in layers and form bars. It is such a super simple and flexible recipe you're going to see. It is great for once you're done with your meal and you're craving for something slightly sweet and filling. So once you eat this, since they are a dessert recipe as well as like a fat bomb because they are quite heavy, you will get rid of all your cravings and sleep very happily that night. They turned out to be my husband's and my absolute favorite when it comes to a keto dessert. They are also easy to assemble. There's no cooking, just refrigeration. I just want to tell you one thing, that you need to keep them refrigerated even after you've cut them, and you have to get it out of the refrigerator, eat it and put it back.
Here I'm taking about half a cup of almond flour. You could definitely use other substitutes like melon seed flour. To that I'm adding 1 tablespoon of coconut oil for now, and I'm gonna add a little bit more later. And I have this erythritol. I have ground it to a fine powder and I've added 1 tablespoon, a pinch of salt, and I'm mixing all of this together. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more of oil. So this is another 1 tablespoon and a little more, so 1 1/3 tablespoon about, but you can go with whatever you feel is right for the flour that you're using. You want to make sure that it has a crumbly texture, almost like when you're making a pastry dough. This is a mold that I'm going to use, is a silicone mold. If you're using any kind of metal mold, then you want to make sure that you put a parchment paper at the bottom so that it's easy to get it out. I have put all of the mixture inside and I'm tapping it with my fingers to flatten it, and now it's gone into the refrigerator. In the meanwhile, we are making the second layer, which is a peanut butter layer, and I have 1 cup of smooth peanut butter. The one that I'm using is salt and sugar free. It's got only peanuts, that's all. All the flavorings we are going to add. This is again 1/4 cup of powdered sweetener, which was erythritol, and a teaspoon of vanilla essence, and I'm mixing this a little bit right now. All the desserts, I like to taste them and accordingly adjust it because every sweetener is different. Everybody has a different taste for sweetness, so you want to mix whatever I tell you and then kind of give it a taste, and there will be a little bit I will leave for the end to adjust according to your sweetness. Now this is 1/4 cup of almond flour. Again, you can use any flour that you like. It has to be low carb substitute. You could use any nut flour that you like, or even coconut flour, because that will help hold the peanut butter together. You want to kind of make it a little bit thicker, that's all. And you can even add a little more than I did. Now I have tasted it and I have added a little more of the sweetener, which is what I would advise you to do too. So I've added heaped teaspoon of the sweetener and we're mixing all of this together, and then we have got our mold out, and this is actually a loaf pan which I'm using. I'm adding all of my peanut butter mixture into this. So there you go. After you have put all of this in, you have to flatten this. I'm going to initially use a spoon. You will need to do as good a job as possible. It's not going to be very professional looking because it's a sticky mixture after all. So I'm using the back of the spoon to flatten it, and if I want to make it even more smooth, I'm going to use my fingers. So I've put some oil on your fingers so that the mixture doesn't stick to your fingers and develop peaks. And in the end, I'm just going to tap it a little bit, and then that's a great way to flatten it.
So before you guys forget, let me remind you to click the like button, subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell right next to it twice to be notified every time that I add a new recipe. If that doesn't happen, even though you've subscribed, you will not know when my new recipes come up. Also share my recipes with your friends and family. It really helps me out a lot.
I've used a 50% Amul sugar-free chocolate which has a sweetener added, but if you're using any other chocolate which is 95% or completely sweetener and sugar-free, then you want to add a little more sweetener and taste it from time to time. So don't exactly follow this. In total, I added 1.5 tablespoon of coconut oil, 2.5 tablespoons of fresh cream, sweetener as per your choice. I added 1 teaspoon. I've heated this in the microwave. You can also make a ganache, equal quantity of chocolate, cream, and then add sweetener as per your choice. And I'm adding a little more cream at this point because it kind of thickened in a weird way. Now I haven't used this chocolate for cooking before, so that's the reason when you're cooking, depending on your ingredients, you want to adjust a little bit. You just want it such that you can pour it and sort of flatten it, because ultimately it's going to go into the refrigerator refrigerator and harden a bit. I used a spoon which is soaked in oil to flatten all the chocolate, and I've just like cleaned the edges to make it look nicer, but you will see it's not such a big deal once you put it in the refrigerator. And after that, I've used some cocoa butter. I've melted it in the microwave, and that's yellow in color. I've dropped a little bit of it, and then using a toothpick, I'm kind of trying to make a random pattern, and you want to just go zigzag or whatever way you like, and this is what it looks like. But honestly, at home you can just leave this step out. The chocolate itself is good enough. I just wanted to make it a little bit more fancy looking cocoa butter, and also because I had it. Anyways, refrigerated that and I got it out, and I am flipping it over. It comes out very easily because it's silicone. I'm cutting the edges off to make them straight, and now I'm going to cut it into pieces. I've cut it into 2, and then each of those I'm going to cut into 2 or 3 or whatever, and that kind of helps you make even pieces. And look at that, how beautiful it looks. And then I'm also cutting it horizontally. Each layer can be seen separately, and it's not only good looking, it's absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorite dessert because it's super filling.
I hope you guys enjoyed watching the recipe and will let me know how it turned out in the comments section. I know that you're going to love it so much that you're going to come back and leave me a comment saying that it was great. Also share it with your friends and family. Thanks for watching. Bye.